Hi, this is Mr. Gervais. I'm going to talk about Screencastify. So, I'm on their homepage just to show you, and what you'll have is if you don't already have this extension installed, and us at the Millbury Public Schools, this should already be installed, but if it's not installed, what you can do is you can click on here and it'll say click here to install or something to that effect, and you can actually install the extension right from here. But then what you'll have is you'll have the extension up here, and then when you click on it, this is actually how we will create and record content. But because Millbury actually paid and got us the unlimited subscription, we actually have the unlimited subscription, and we can record better content, longer videos, and I guess more robust videos. So as we're on the dashboard here, I could obviously click record, and all this will do is this will just record my browser, whatever I'm doing here on Google Chrome. My microphone, it won't record my voice, it won't do anything, it won't record my webcam, it will literally just record and watch what I'm doing. If I turn on the microphone, you can actually see how it's the meters going up and down is actually hearing what I'm saying. On my computer here, I have to pick which microphone. Usually the first one is the default. On the Chromebooks, you should only have one. And then I can obviously, I could turn on the webcam, and then you can actually interact with the audience. I could turn on the desktop, and that will just record the entire computer, the desktop mode if I'm like interacting with icons back and forth. And then I could just use just the webcam if I want to record like some kind of video session and have the audience just see what I'm doing, talk to them as though it's like a webcam. Anyway, the other thing I want to show you here is under the more options. I can have a countdown, so when I click record on the screen, I'll get a 3, 2, 1, and then it will start recording, and then at least I get a kind of a warning. I can show the drawing tools, and these drawing tools will turn on once I'm recording, and I can annotate and interact with the video itself. And the thing I want to really show you here is under this, I call it the hamburger with the students, but it's this 3 lines, this hamburger, and under options is what you really want to look at. When you click on this options, it brings you into this. A lot of times we don't care or whatever, but this is actually, especially for Screencastify, this is super helpful because you can actually see when I'm done recording my Screencastifys, it's actually by default going to save to my Google Drive. Now, because I'm signed into my Millbury Schools email, it will save to my Google Drive when I'm done. I can still edit them before and after and all that, but I still know it's going to save to my Google Drive, which is very helpful. And for all of us and many of us who have the Chromebooks, this is really, really safe because then we don't lose that content. Some of us can save to our local computers and local drives, but you can actually see here not recommended on the Chrome OS or the Chromebooks. I'm going to go down here a little bit just to show you. There's some things in here like the configure recording shortcuts. I am a huge fan of shortcuts. I'll click on this to show you. I have to go down to Screencastify. And when I'm down here, I can actually customize these. So what this means to activate the extension is, like, say I want to record, I don't necessarily have to click up here. I can hit Alt-Shift-S, and that will just turn on Screencastify. I can change the focus. This one is the one I wanted to point out because a lot of times we want to pause the recording and we don't want to go up to here, or we don't want to do this. So we can actually be very slick about it, and we can change how this does it. So I can actually customize how the pause happens. So I can do like Alt Shift P or Alt Control P. Some of these might be cross OS, so you might want to be careful. Like if we hit Control P on a computer, Control P by default is print. So we want to be careful if we're doing those customizations. But take a look at these when you get in there and start using these, because these two here stop recording and pause, resume recording. These will be very helpful for when you're recording your Screencastifies. So you want to keep those in mind when you're doing this. So you can customize some, but you can't customize others. Anyway, what I'll do is I'll close these out, go down, and some of them are not as robust as others, but I just want to point it out before we actually get looking here. So what I'll do is I'll show you, I'll click on this, we'll go in here. I only want to record my browser tab, and I'm just going to do a simulated quick lesson with you just so you can see it. So what I'll do is I'll click on the browser tab. It's only to record my Chrome browser tab. So whatever I have here, it's going to record. My microphone is turned on, it's going to record my voice. By default, it's going to record the first one. I have a countdown on the screen. I can show the drawing tools, but since I'm going to talk to you, I won't use them. Feel free to test drive a lot of these however you want, but I'll turn it on for now. So hit record, and now I'm recording. So now I'm currently recording. You can see the red circles going, just like you'd see on any kind of recording device. And what it's going to do is it's going to record what I'm doing. So I'm actually going to visit mrgervais.com. And what I'll do is I'll go into Internet Safety, and you can see how it's blinking as it goes in. So every time I click on something, it's highlighting that cursor. So I'll say, okay, let's be internet kind. Click on it. You see how it highlights it there? It's actually highlighting the area that I want my audience to see. So the game's going to load up, and depending on your internet connection, it'll be faster or slower. But I can talk to my audience, say, this is why we're here, this is what we're doing, this is what I expect from you, this is the expectations for the lesson, this is how or why I'm expecting you to be here. So, something else I'll point out to you while we're here, if you right click on any of these tabs and mute, it actually will mute the sound. So you can actually mute the sound and then keep talking and playing. So now the audio is still going, the sound is still going, but you can actually see how the audio is muted. Okay, and just this tab is muted. So if you want to show them a YouTube video or something, you can actually have the audio playing and have it queued up and just right click and unmute, and then the audio will start playing again. So that's really helpful whenever you're playing something. I know a lot of these have built-in audio and built-in this, but this is a fail-safe, 100% steadfast, always works. I've actually worked with this with the students. I showed them this. So a lot of them already know this. So let's say I'm done recording. I can use the shortcuts, but you can see how I click on it. But I just want to show you. So it says another tab is being recorded in the background. We obviously know that. I can click trash and say, I don't like this one. I'm going to be done. But what I want to do is I'm going to not pause it. I'm going to stop it and watch what happens when I click stop. It should actually present me with options. So now I can unmute this, that with my voice and everything. And what will happen is I can hear myself. You can actually see my cursor going. It's reviewing. It's automatically uploading to my Google Drive, which is super helpful because now that's the default. So now it's prepping for me to put it to my Google Classroom. Obviously, you can put it wherever you want, but I'm actually reviewing my lesson. What's awesome about this is I can have any of my students review this. I can have some of my students look at it at 8:30 at night. Some can look at it at 8:30 in the morning. But the beauty of this is I can put whatever I want them to hear or see on my Google Classroom. So what I'm doing is instead of trying to time everything and meet up with them at certain times, they actually get to interact with me virtually and hear and see what I want them to see. Going forward, this is probably going to be the default for what I'm going to do. Is this way I can actually have a lesson, talk to them, say, hey, this is why we're doing this. This is why I want to do this, just like I would do in the technology classes. because some of the stuff is really out of left field and they're not sure why I'm having them do it. But it's a lot of what I'm doing scaffolded. But this way you can actually, you can, you can do it however you want. So the beauty of what we're doing here is I'm presenting the lesson as I want them to hear it and see it. And I can click in the editor. This is still in beta. I would say be cautious with this. However, I'll even click on it to show you. But when you click on it, what it will do is then it gives you at least a little more leeway to edit the video. And but a lot of times I think what staff will do is they'll just work on whatever they did here, share it to their classroom, and I'll show you that in a moment. But what this does is this will let you edit it. If any of you are familiar with YouTube and editing in YouTube, it takes the raw video that you just uploaded and then it lets you edit it online. The problem with that is we may have some kind of latency in between your connection and the connection on the other side. So what it's taking is that whole video that I just uploaded, and now it's saying, let me edit it. Am I saying don't use it? Definitely not. I would say definitely give yourselves a chance to try it out, look at it. But I'm guessing 99.9% of us are going to go from here to here. Okay? Try not to, what's the word, rock the boat. But you can definitely edit it. Feel free to edit it. You can delete it, redo it. It's very, very simplified. So I'm just going to show you. Let's say I'm happy with what I want to do, and I'm in the editor, but I don't want to edit it. I can cut clips, edit it. I can streamline it. You can actually see here. If I want to, I can add, upload. I can tweak it more, but I'm guessing many of you are not going to try to crop or add text in, but you can. Like I said, feel free to have fun with this, play with this. This is a very, very helpful tool. But I'm guessing many of you are going to do this and then jump to here. So if you need help with the editor, feel free to contact me. So let's pretend I made my video, made my content, and I'm gonna upload it to my classroom. So I go, okay, which classroom? I'm signed in, that's definitely me. I will upload it to my prep class. So this is my prep class. What action do I want to do? I'm gonna create an assignment out of this. Yep, click go. So with that video I just made, I'm gonna make an assignment. Internet safety. Are you being safe? And then I can give them instructions. So okay, and I can post it to more than one class or whatever. Students can view the file. Okay, so if you're having problems with that, that could be because of this, because the Google file wasn't uploaded or shared properly, but Screencastify is very good at sharing this. If you're having problems with that, feel free to edit these settings because currently it's set for public at Millbury Schools. That's what it's set for. So what that means is anyone in the same domain, the same school, can actually see the file. So right now, my Screencastify video, all students can view the file. I have it set for 100 points. My due date, I'll have it set for tomorrow. Really short time limit. My topic is technology, and then I will assign it. And what this is doing is it's taking that video and assignment, posting it, giving it grades. Okay, so now when I go to the view, the video is live immediately. So, okay, so I click view my assignment. Here's my instructions, and there's the video.